Hi guys. Okay, today I'm going to show you a basic feature that Photoshop is famous for. We're adding a layer to an image. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm putting a clear piece of glass on top of this so that I can draw on top of that glass without affecting anything that's underneath the piece of glass. That's what a layer is. And that's how people transfer things like somebody's head that isn't this person onto somebody else's body and Photoshop them in. Um, so to add a layer to this image, I can do it a couple of ways. This I had on the screen from when I was printing this morning. But the first way that I could do this is I could simply go up to where it says layer at the top, and I could come and drop down to where it says new and click on layer, and it would add a layer there. Or you can see there are some other things that I can do to those layers, like background for layer. And that would do something, I think, like copy the background and paste a virtual copy, an exact copy of it over the top of it. When you open it up, your screen is probably going to look more like this the first time. You're going to have your swatches and your colors up here. And then this learning tab is going to be open in the middle of the right-hand side. And then down at the bottom, you'll see it says layers, channels, and paths. Paths, I know a good bit about. Channels, I know a little bit about. I'd have to look at that a little bit more. But layers, I know a lot about. And if you click on layers, you can see your learning tab closes down. And now you've got this little interactive palette that you can work with to add new layers, add new adjustment layers, change some things on here. Right now you can see I've got this background and it's got a little bracket around it, and that's what it's going to call anything that you pull up ever. And it's got this little lock by it, and they do that so that you can't alter this without wanting to, like by accident. So if I wanted to make a change to this, erase part of it or something like that, or even if I wanted to not see it anymore, there's a little eyeball over here, and if I poke the eyeball, things will go away and then they'll come back. But when these things are locked, then you usually can't do that. So you would have to click on that to unlock it, and then you would be able to adjust this layer itself. To add a layer down here without going up there, I just go to this little icon in the right-hand corner that's like a plus inside of a box, and you can say it says create a new layer. If I click on that, nothing seems to change here, but over here in my interactive palette, I've got my background layer now and layer 1. I can change the name of that by double clicking on it and call it something else. And now I can start drawing on top of this, and I won't change anything that's happening underneath on my background layer. Okay? One thing you want to be certain about, though, is that you're always working on the right layer. So you can see here, we'll just call this ants for the next thing, and hit enter. If I click on background, it turns gray. And now if I wanted to draw on the ants layer, I wouldn't be. I'd be one layer beneath, so I'd be drawing right on my background. So if I want to draw here and not on there, I want to make sure that that is highlighted. So that's how you add a layer, or a couple ways to add a layer. And I'll show you something that we can do in that next